Hey Rebels, if you're into golf and trading, we have the ultimate experience for you. Market Rebellion is sponsoring a tent on the historic 17th hole at the Players Championship, TPC Sawgrass, on March 10th through the 13th. John, Pete, all of our analysts and a bunch of special guests are going to be there. It comes with a 4-day all-exclusive VIP pass to the entire Players Championship tournament at TPC Sawgrass. That includes hotel accommodations as well as food and drink for all 4 days. We're going to be doing live trading on Thursday and Friday. We're going to do a Topgolf cocktail reception Thursday night and a champions dinner on Sunday night with a bunch of golf in between. It's going to be a ton of fun. We can't wait to see you out there. That's March 10th through the 13th at TPC Sawgrass. The Rebellion is coming to the Players Championship. Go to marketrebellion.com/golf and sign up today.
Good morning. I'm Pete Najarian. This is The Take for Market Rebellion, and sorry I missed you yesterday, and what an incredible day yesterday. You want to talk about epic moves. I don't know if any of us have ever seen anything quite like that. The reversal of the day was almost as exciting and crazy as, obviously, the playoffs over this past weekend. That was incredible. Great games, all going down to the wire, all that different stuff. Boy, the markets are almost as incredible as what we had watched over on Saturday and Sunday. Just unbelievable. How about the Dow turning 1,300 points within the range off of the lows to actually finish the session up 100 points? And then you look over at the NASDAQ, same sort of a story, down about 800 points on its lows to recover all the way back and finish up 86 points. I don't know that we've ever seen anything quite like that. It was absolutely extraordinary. The turns were like nothing I've ever seen before. And the sheer volume. I actually heard somebody on television talking about lower volumes yesterday. I have no idea what they're talking about because the volumes in the stocks and specifically in the options world were absolutely outrageous. And to give you a great example, going back to Friday, 63 million contracts trading on Friday. Yesterday, Monday, 63 million contracts trading again. That really does say it all. As a matter of fact, one of the biggest trades on yesterday that we did see was in the triple Qs. And, you know, we see some big volume trades in ETFs all the time. As a matter of fact, I might actually have an ETF or two for the unusual today, which I don't like to do, but I'll explain that when we do that. 49,000 of the triple Q March 240 options were trading yesterday. We just continue to see these gigantic trades that are going down each and every day, and some of these volumes as well. And the turn and burn off of those lows to actually finish in positive territory. Consumer discretionary actually finished there. Energy finished up about 0.5%. Industrials about 0.5%. Financials about 0.25%. These turns were absolutely extraordinary. We hit the highest levels on the volatility index in many, many, many months. It's been incredible. I think it went back all the way to October 2020 to see that kind of volatility that we had seen. A little over 38, almost 39. So we closed the day underneath 30. We actually closed 29.90. We did hit, as I say, that at least the 52-week highs, and I think some of the highs that we hadn't seen in quite some time. 10-year was right around that 175, 176 level. We had energy, we had oil prices trading between 82 and 84, actually closing out around 83.60. Just gives you a little bit of an idea of some of the turns. Here's some of the names that actually finished in positive territory, and not just finished positive, absolutely running. Gap Stores was up 8%. Generac was up about 6%. Best Buy was up about 5%. Lennar, some of those home builders that had taken it on the chin a little bit, quite frankly, lately. Lennar was up about 5%. I look over at a Domino's up 5%. Datadog over 8% to the upside. DocuSign. Are people trying to grab the bottom, at least what they perceive to be the bottom? Maybe. But I'll tell you what, absolutely extraordinary on that side of things. There were a lot of areas that still stayed in negative territory, no doubt about it. Airbnb off a little over 5.5%. You look at Freeport, you look at Netflix. Netflix did recover off of its lows, but still finished in the red at about, call it about 2.5% to the downside. Some of those Chinese names also to the downside. NetEase, JD, PDD, and Baidu, those names struggled a little bit, but there were a lot of different names that were working. In the Dow, you had Home Depot really had a nice day, up about 4%. You had Visa up a couple of percent. Healthcare, that was a little bit more under pressure. You had the J&Js and the Mercks of the world. They were down around 1% or thereabouts yesterday. So you come into today, you expect a little bit maybe of a breather after that big recovery. And that's about where we were. That should be expected. We were down about 250 on the Dow, down about 180 on the NASDAQ. Boy, did those numbers accelerate. We've been down today already more than 700 points to the downside on the Dow. We've also seen the NASDAQ down about 400 points. I got to tell you, right before we came on, I was just bouncing back and forth and just watching how these markets, we were down 580 just minutes before we came on. Before I knew it, we were down about 470. So the Dow, let's just call it down somewhere close, maybe 500. That'd be a good guess right now. Changes every couple of minutes, of course. And then you look over at the NASDAQ also, just under some pretty significant pressure, down, call it 300, 350, somewhere in that sort of a range. But it's been all over the place. Crude, 83s, then started to jump up a little bit. We got back into the 84s. You got the 10-year somewhere, call it right around that 175 area. A lot of people very watching that, of course, closely still. That is not forgotten. Early on, we were about 33s on the volatility index. We jumped up to the mid 34s. That was about a 15% move to the upside on volatility. So certainly does make sense with the kind of violent moves that we're having, especially when you look at it from the intraday volatility that we are looking at. It absolutely does add up. 32 volatility, by the way, about a 2% move expected for the S&P. We are getting those kind of crazy moves. There's no doubt about that. It has been absolutely extraordinary. So early on, we had technology down a little bit, well, not a little bit, down about 1.8%. That actually was down about 2.5%. Semis down about 2.5%. They were down as much as over 3.5%, somewhere in that category. You look over at industrials as well. All of those kind of accelerated to the downside as we were starting to see that pull. So it wasn't just one area of the market. Seems like the markets in general, there's nowhere to hide. As a matter of fact, early on this morning, absolutely every single sector was in the red. There was nowhere to hide. So just keep that in mind. American Express, great numbers, up about 5%. We had Moderna up about 3% today. You got Lockheed Martin up a couple of percent. Chinese names bouncing after yesterday, staying in the red, actually moving to the upside today. Not huge, but definitely having a better day today than yesterday. GE, however, not such a great day. That's down about 6%. Saw the CEO on CNBC just not too terribly long ago, touting that it really was a better quarter and projections going forward. A lot of back and forth on that. And certainly Tusa's got something to say from JP Morgan, who's been somebody who's been all over that stock for many years, and he's mostly been right along the way. So always interesting to hear from him as well. Best Buy down about 4% today. Freeport down about 3.5%. Semiconductors across the board, just seeing a lot of selling there, and that contributing to when I talked about the SMH. You take a look, you look at the SMH, it was down over 3%. You look at a lot of the names within that, you can see the category specifically. Less individual names and a lot of some of the names, however, that are on the manufacturing side and that type of thing. You've got Lam Research, Applied Materials, KLAC, Tencor, those kind of names, ASML, a lot of just contribution on why the semis under pressure today. eBay as well, Goldman Sachs, you get the idea. So I got two unusuals for you, then we're all caught up, and then look forward to seeing you tomorrow. We do have the cash flow portfolio coming up later this afternoon as well. I'll be joining Corey Huppola on WCCO Radio if you would like to go at the top of the hour. That's going to be streaming as well, live streaming. They do a great job over there. Corey does an outstanding job each and every day. So IWM, Russell 2000. Oftentimes we stay away from these ETFs. I specifically do because I want those individual names. But in this case, it makes some sense. So February, 188 puts. You've got the Russell trading at 196.50 at the time of this trade. The 188 puts, 28,400 of those puts were bought, $4.60. Is it a hedge? Or are they buying these puts because they don't know that this is necessarily over, this up and down, but specifically to the downside? And certainly we are seeing some heavy volumes in a lot of different ETFs today of different sectors. And it's that really has dominated our screen so far early on. I got another one as well, Jets. Now, a lot of the time when I see something like this, when I'm looking at it, I am looking for those individual names. A name like Jets, a lot of the time I will look right over at either United, American, Delta, one of those different names. But In this case, a positive trade here, looking for a little bit of a bounce, not too big of a bounce either, because they're looking for a bounce where this stock was just a few days ago, or this ETF rather. So it's trading right around 2028 at the time of this trade, 16,300 to the February 4th expiring. So a little bit of time, a couple of weeks. The 2150 strike, that's what they are attacking. 16,000 of these, one print, 28 cents. They bought these calls looking for a little bit of upside, 28 cents. So looking at that, I'm certainly looking at that. I may go with that, or I'll be looking at some of the individual names as well, trying to position that way to get a little bit better beta, in my opinion. And I'd always look for those individual names if it makes sense. And it's always, every situation is a little bit different, but that one makes a little bit of sense to me. Try to look around. So hope you have a great day of trading. I know it's going to be wild and crazy again. It already has been, but be very patient, be very disciplined, and with that patience, you're going to have a lot better opportunities in front of you, because these markets give you a chance. The opportunities are there. Yesterday, what a wild ride. Hope you have a great day of trading. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow.